So now this empire, dude, that is, like a grifter, basically is now like in our orbit, my mom and I, because my mom is spellbound, like I said, by these like opportunistic things that pop up everywhere, that seem to have popped up everywhere in Los Angeles. And, again, like she's spellbound to the point of, typical Liz. She essentially refinances my house that I paid for a second time, or the first of two times, to build a guest house that we did not have. There was an adjunct to our, main house. It was a garage, okay, but she refis, and so it's now a guest house, with like plumbing and everything, and again, more money that we did not have. But it was this like fog of, like possibilities and possibilities. She was like addicted to anything that smelled of some kind of possibility, completely opportunistic, like completely. The town is like full of it. And ironically, then, a neighbor reported this guest house. Long story short, inspectors show up and we have to tear it down anyway. So poof, that's all gone. I remember somebody kind of clocked her. I was at the fashion show that I mentioned that I was suddenly working the door of at 18. One of these models in like, haberdashers and designers that my mom drags into this fashion show. I think her name was Keely Smith. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. Healy. Anyway, it did happen. So whoever, Miss Smith, I'm sorry. So then I'm like in a booth with her at this fashion show with a few other models, and she starts to clock my mom. She starts to like talk, smack about her very accurately, and I'm just like, I'm half like kind of horrified, but half kind of like, ooh, dead on the money. So so I just basically turn to her and I say, "Oh, by the way, that's my mom." And so, of course, like she's taken aback. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But so, of course, now the magazine Empire dude living in our guest house disappears. He is no longer renting our guest house. He is skipped out on rent. The magazine doesn't exist, and there ain't no more fashion shows. So I guess it's just like it struck me today, this topic about how Hollywood is filled with people that are like obsessed with building these sandcastles out of charm, lots of promises, and desperation, literally. And sometimes this fantasy lasts just long enough for you to believe it. So don't. Anyway, thanks for tolerating my blabber as usual today and whatever enthusiasm. I hope it was interesting or something. Anyway, see you tomorrow, same lineup, and do not forget, I love you. Bye.